Slav defense, exchange, symmetrical line, 7.e3e6.8.bd3bxd39.qxd3bd610.bxd611.00012.rac1. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. Opening with the queen's pawn controls the center and usually leads to a more positional development of the pieces. d5 establishes a presence in the center, controls the e4 square, and opens up the light-squared bishop. The queen's gambit offers up a wing pawn to attack the center and distract black from the e4 square. In the Slav defense, c6 supports the d5 pawn. Nf3 controls the e5 square and protects the d4 pawn. Nf6 develops the knight toward the center, adds support to the d5 pawn, and controls the e4 square. Cx d5 captures the d5 pawn, attacks the c6 pawn and controls the e6 square. Cx d5 recaptures the pawn and controls the e4 and c4 squares. Nc3 develops the knight toward the center, attacks the d5 pawn and controls the e4 square. Nc6 develops the knight toward the center, attacks the d4 pawn and controls the e5 square. Bf4 develops the bishop to an active diagonal where it controls the center. Bf5 develops the bishop to an active diagonal and maintains symmetry. E3 supports the d4 pawn and bishop on f4 and allows the light-squared bishop to develop. E6 supports the bishop on f5 and the pawn on d5 while allowing the dark-squared bishop to develop. Bd3 develops the bishop toward the center, attacks the bishop on f5 and prepares castling. Bxd3 captures the bishop before white can capture on f5. Qxd3 recaptures the bishop. Bd6 develops the bishop toward the center and challenges the bishop on f4. Bxd6 exchanges dark-squared bishops. Qxd6 recaptures the bishop, develops the queen and controls the b8h2 diagonal. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. This takes an open file, a common method for activating a rook. It is the last book move. Balanced, neither player ever had an advantage. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening.